Yep, I'm going live on this page today. Um, Interesting. I don't think I usually go live on this page. But, anyways, I feel like it was the thing to do today. So, um, hello everyone. Basically, what we want to talk about today is self care. That's the main thing that was like, self care, huh? I should talk about that. Like, not really. People like talk about it and they're like, yeah, self-love, this is my time for myself, but I'm like, do people really understand the importance and the just discipline it takes for self-care, self-love, and just all of that, the aspects of themselves? Hello. um like a lot of the thing that came to me today was that self-care doesn't need time. It doesn't need to be given time. It doesn't need to take time. Take time. Yeah. So it doesn't need to take time. It just needs to be allowed. It just needs to be allowed. And that's all it needs. It just needs to be allowed the space. It just needs not even time, because self-care is it's a part of you that is beyond time. It's beyond space. And so in order for you to get to self-care and self-love and like all of these things, you need to disregard time, disregard space, basically. You just need to allow yourself to be there in that. But yeah, that was the main thing, was just to, yeah, I don't really know. There's a lot going through my brain today, just in general, with everything going on. Like, how do I make this a part of my life? How do I make this, not make this my life, but make this the support system of my life? Maybe a lot of you have insights or something. But I got an email this morning from somebody I follow on YouTube, and they send out like daily inspiration emails, I guess you could say. And at the bottom of it, it had a link to a webinar. Yeah, a free webinar talking about how him and his friends have become successful YouTubers, basically, which sounds like a part of my dream, a part of where I'm going, a part of what I'm going for. Not all of it, though. Like, I love making the YouTube videos. They're really fun. They help me come into a better understanding of just what I believe, what I feel, but at the same time, I'm not going for full-time YouTuber. But the webinar was talking about just how they made their dreams a reality, how they made it how they manifested it and how they came into being. And so I was able to tap into that, and it was so interesting because it was literally like I got the email, and then I clicked the link, and then like literally 30 seconds later it was time for the webinar, and I was like, this is perfect timing, let me watch this. And so at the end, of course, they offered like, buy this package, and I was like, maybe not spending $700. But I did take a lot of really good notes and just like things that I view myself in the future as being, and it's really inspiring just because I'm not going for a title. I'm not going for that thing that people aspire to be. I'm not going for the title of a doctor. I'm not going for the title of, oh, he's just a healer, or he's just a businessman, or he's just a psychic, or he's just an entrepreneur. No, there's so many titles you could put to me. Like, for instance, in this webinar that I tapped into, they were like, if you're a spiritual healer, mentor, coach, guide, YouTuber, teacher, artist, creator. Like, there's all of these labels, and each one of these labels is a potential income, is a potential support system. And it was just amazing because later he had like a PowerPoint set up, and on the PowerPoint it said Awakening Coach, and I was like, oh my god, Awakening Coach. That's not like the title I would classify myself as, but at the same time I'm just like, that's an option. Like, what would I view myself as? Like, when people ask what I do, because I've been having people ask me recently, they're like, so are you working? Are you still working? How are you doing during this time? And I'm like, well, first of all, the way you put it makes it sound like my life is falling apart when in my reality, in my perspective, my life is coming together. My life is falling in towards itself and finally being able, given the space, given the time to come up and to bloom through all of this. And so it was just amazing, and just the synchronicity and the time and everything to be able to tap into this video, this webinar about an awakening coach, and just how he got to be there. And he's like a full-time YouTuber. He posts videos every day. But it was just amazing. And the main thing that I took away from that was that I'm not going for the label. I'm not going for the title. I'm not going for the popularity. I'm going for the impact that I have on people, the impact that my story can give to people, the impact that I am able to accomplish just based on what I'm able to do and what I'm able to share. And whether that's being simply a YouTuber or a spiritual healer or a guide or a teacher or an artist, all of these things come together. And they make who I am. They make what I am. It's not one or the other. It's all of them coming together, all of them combined. And in combining all of them, I am formulating that impact into how I'm able to share with others and how I'm able to give to their life at the same time receiving in my own. Because I don't make the YouTube videos for others per se. I make them for myself. I go in and I will. But I'm not doing this for other people. I'm not doing this. I don't make the videos for I do make them in a sense for whoever's going to watch them. But since I don't have viewers right now, I don't have a lot of people. I don't have a lot of subscribers. Like, a lot of people would just give up. They're like, oh, I only got like 9 views. I only got like 3 views on this one. Oh, I only got like 7. I only have 15 subscribers. And I'm like, I'm not making it for the 15 subscribers. Yes, they're amazing and it's amazing, but I do it for me because I love diving deeper into who are the Pleiadians. What do the angels have to say today? Just little things like that. Like, and it comes to me and I grow from it. And then I post it and other people grow from it. And I get messages that are like, this is amazing. Thank you so much. Keep doing what you're doing. And it's that keeps me going. But at the same time, even if I didn't have that, would I keep going? Most likely yes, because it makes me feel good. It makes me happy. It makes me feel fulfilled. But it's not one thing. It's because it is like, speaking on the YouTube side of things, you could say I'm a YouTuber. Am I making money from it? No. But I'm still doing it. And I am a spiritual healer. Am I making money from it? No. Well, not consistently. But am I still doing it? Yes. Am I still offering it? Yes. Would I consider myself a mentor or coach? Not necessarily, but I would consider myself a guide. I would consider myself an intuitive guide, helping people tap into that part of themselves. I'm not preaching my knowledge. I'm not preaching that I know everything. I'm preaching my learning. I'm preaching my understanding, my experience, and how I got there. I'm preaching that you are your own most powerful healer. You are the person that changes your life. You are the person that makes the impact within yourself. I'm just a catalyst for myself. And you seeing my flame allows you to build yours. And that's all it is. That's what I am. And it's just incredible. But going back to that self-care mindset, just you don't need to take the time to care for yourself. You need to allow the time. You need to give the time to yourself. Because self-care doesn't care about the time. Self-care cares about the intention behind you, behind what you're trying to do. People spend years in the mountains, isolated, to meditate, to come back to themselves. Not everybody has that luxury. Not everybody needs it. That's why not everybody has that luxury. It's the intention you put behind it. You could spend 5 minutes breathing and basically get the same impact from an hour-long meditation if you have the intention, if you have the mindset that that's what you're doing, that you are taking the time for yourself to gain whatever it is that you need to gain. You will gain it how you gain it, but it's the intention of I deserve this. I need this. It's not, I'm giving the time for this. No, because that's just putting it in your schedule, blocking it out. I have 5 minutes to meditate. No. What are you going to do in that 5 minutes? 5 minutes can go by like that, or it can last a lifetime. All of us, like, those workouts that last a minute, yeah, whatever. But yeah, it's not the time. It's not about the time. It's not about the length of time. It's about what you do within it. Time is a construct made up by us humans to keep us in a schedule. That 9 to 5 life. Like now that we're all stuck at home, myself, I find that the days run together. I felt like I had to separate the days based on what I do that day, how I approach that day, what I focus on that day, so that I can keep them separated. But why do we separate them? We're living one life. Our days are seamless. The day goes into night and it's a constant cycle. But we separate them. We say, this is Monday, this is Saturday. This is what a Monday feels like. This is what a Saturday feels like. This is why we enjoy Fridays, but this is why I hate Tuesdays. Why do we define a day in our life? It's different. It's the same. It's unique. But it's our one life. This life. Of course, we have many lives, but this is the life that we're conscious of right now. And so how are we living this life? I myself get caught up in separating. Oh, I feel this day. Oh, I feel this day. I'll feel better tomorrow. No. You'll feel better today. You'll feel better right now, actually. But how do you get there? It's that awareness of, why do I feel weird? How do I get out of it? Do I get out of it? What am I supposed to learn from it? There's questions. If anything, that's the one thing that I did find useful in all of my classes that I took in college, was that critical thinking. Because there's so many people that learned how to think, but they don't. They just accept it. And that's what's happening right now. So many people are just accepting what is. I went to Costco. Okay, I'm going to go off. But I went to Costco yesterday to get some chicken. That's it. I just wanted a bag of chicken. I was out of chicken. And they sell bulk chicken for cheap. And me and my roommate, we go. And we're walking in and they say, sorry, do you guys have masks? And we're like, no. They're like, you can't come in without a mask. We have some for you, though. Here, put these on. What? You want me to put on a mask so that I can shop from you? No. No. Show me the law. Show me the science that backs up that a mask does anything. When this whole thing started, let me remind you, the CDC came out and said these masks don't do shit. I said it. Don't even pardon my French. They don't do shit. And so why in the world are they forcing their members, Costco, why are they forcing people to wear masks in order to shop from them? I saw this thing the other day. If masks worked, why would social distancing be a thing? Why would quarantine be a thing? If you could just put on a mask and everything would be fine. And if they don't work, why are we being forced to wear them? It's that fear mindset. I literally put on the mask and I felt my heart chakra contract. Which is stuff that I need to work through, and I acknowledge that. Because I am, there's a part of me that kind of blocks out, there's a part of me that blocks out what I'm experiencing, what I'm trying to express. Because I don't like to live in that fear. But in order to not live in the fear, we also need to accept that it's there. And I thought I did, but I hadn't worn a mask yet. And wearing that mask, oof, let me tell you. They don't... So, I kind of went off on a tangent, and I forgot where I was, but the only thing I wanted to talk about on here was self-care, so the rest of it's just like, here we are. Oh, but this impact that I was talking about with where I'm going and what I want to do, it's interesting because I have so many things that I can pull from, things that I can offer, things that I can do, things here and there and everywhere. But it's not about the money. And that's something that he said today in his webinar, was it's not about the money. It's about the freedom, the time, the impact, okay? I can't tell you the feeling I get after my intuitive movement Zoom meetings on Monday is the feeling that I want to be in all the time. It's the feeling that I want to live in. It's the feeling that I want everyone to live in. It's incredible. I literally overflow with love and joy and just peace. It's finally like I'm living what I am. Like I'm offering something that people wouldn't get elsewhere because they wouldn't be exposed to it. And it's a different perspective on a lot of things because I'm different. But we all are. We're all different. It's whether or not you choose to accept your differences that will make you different. Externally different. What makes you unique? For me, I've always been different. I talked about this morning was my good to great challenge that I'm in right now. I've always been different, and I accepted the fact that I was I accepted the fact that my differences were not okay. I accepted the fact that my differences weren't going to get me anywhere. My differences made me a failure. My differences made me too different. My differences made me weak. No. That's quite the opposite. Growing up, I was made fun of a lot for my voice. But I can't tell you how many people within the last month or so have told me my voice is so calming, is so soothing, is so meditative, or that they just like my voice. I was literally, like, in high school, I remember French class specifically, I was mocked for my voice. And it's so interesting that the challenges and the trials and the traumas that we go through are almost to challenge our greatest assets. My voice. The way that I speak my truth. The way that I share my story. Was something I've been self-conscious of for so long. So I'm just curious if you guys have any similar experiences. Like, what were you what were you self-conscious of that has turned out to be one of your greatest strengths? I've been self-conscious of my body. I've been self-conscious of my voice. Yet here I am leading Zoom classes, basically. Zoom explorations. They're not really classes. Because it connotates teacher-student when we're all students. We're all teachers. But I'm literally leading explorations of the body with my voice. I'm just, like, in awe about this. And I show up to those explorations with a mindset of, like, all I need to do is show up. That's it. The rest I know how to do. The rest I can do. The rest I am guided through. The hard part is to get my ego out of the way enough for me to show up to that Zoom meeting, that Zoom exploration. It's that self-care of just allowing, taking that step and being like, I'm doing this for the betterment of myself. And seeing the impact in others is a benefit, is a cool perk. But I'm sharing because it feels good for me to share. It feels good for me to explore. And so of course I'm going to open it up for other people to explore because it makes me feel good. And so I'm sure it makes other people feel good. It does. All the feedback. The YouTube videos, it makes me feel good to make a YouTube video about aliens. And then I get messages like, oh my gosh, I've channeled the same thing. This is amazing. And I'm like, wow. That confirmation. That, okay, you're going in the right direction. Keep going. But at the same time, there's so many things. It's almost like there's not enough time in the day. And so I get overwhelmed. And so I don't do anything. Like, I can do something. Which is what I'm doing right now. I'm sharing. But, like, Reiki healer. Put that into... I make crystal bracelets. I put Reiki into the crystal bracelets. Boom! Income. I do tarot readings. No idea if they resonate. I just speak what I'm basically looking at. It's like a story. It's like a book you get to read, and then all these things just come and you're just like, oh, Oh, that deals with the father. Oh, that deals with the pet that you lost. Oh, that's a eek. And you go from there. I do these things, and all of these things, they're like little bubbles right now, and then they're eventually gonna come together and make a big thought cloud, and that thought cloud is just gonna start raining. What's it gonna rain? Abundance. But abundance isn't money. It's security. It's support. It's love. It's acceptance. It's freedom. Freedom. And that's what it is. And of course, it does deal with money, because money allows for the freedom, allows for the support, allows for the all of the above. But it's not money. That is the goal. It's not. The goal is to feel good. The goal is to share. The goal is to live who you are. And that's the power. That's where it comes from. That's the truth. That's the truth in all of this, is that you're living who you are. You're finding who you are. It's a discovery process. And it's always a discovery process. There's always something new to discover. A new crevice. Something else. And if you don't think that, I would have to say that that's a pretty ignorant perspective you have there. Like, what? You're the perfect human being? Yeah, right. Yeah, right. It just makes me laugh because I know people like that. Like, you don't have anything to work on. You're telling me you don't have anything to work on. Okay. We'll see how that goes. It's so funny. So funny. It's hilarious. It's sad, but it's really funny. Maybe it's not appropriate to laugh, but what? I'm laughing and it's my life, so deal with it. But that was so self-care. That was the purpose of this video, and here I am laughing. There's a future for me, and I have no idea what it looks like. But it's coming, and it's different than my past, and I'm really excited for it. Of course, I just hope it comes quickly, but slowly, so I can adjust to it. And it is dealing with all of this. I am a spiritual healer. I am an artist. I am an intuitive guide. I am a tarot reader. But are those me? No. I'm Landon. I'm a soul. I'm a consciousness. Am I human? Yes. No. Both. Are you human? Yes, but no. Your body doesn't define you. Your occupation doesn't define you. It's just where you are, so that you can learn lessons from that and then move forward and move on and move through. The lessons I learned from being a barista, I take with me. The lessons I learned from being a host, I take with me. That human connection. How to talk to people. Am I good at it? That's debatable. But it's fun. But the lessons that you take from where you are into where you're going, that's the beauty in it, is that you don't there's not an end, basically. And this was interesting because when I channeled the celestial realm, their entire hierarchy is based on this ascension program, but there's no end to it. And everything is a reflection, and so with that being that, there's no end to us either. And so you might think that you come into where you are, where you're meant to be, and maybe you're meant to be there for the rest of this life. Or maybe you're meant to be there, and then it transforms, it changes, it becomes something new, something exciting, something collaborative. Maybe you're not even supposed to do it by yourself. Maybe I'm not supposed to do it by myself. I think I am. At least right now. There's so many lessons to learn. And we just become so fixed in where we are and so fixed in what we think we are that we settle. It's almost like, yeah, I've gotten to this good spot and I think I'm good. I don't need to continue to progress. That's the cop out. You got into a good spot, so you're just gonna quit? No. You got to a good spot, and so you know there's more to go. There's more to keep pushing for. Not everybody gets that. Not everybody believes in dreams. Why believe in dreams if we live in a society where dreams are fictionalized, fictitious? Fairy tales. No. I don't believe in that. Dreams are the foretelling of the future. A future, if you choose to pursue them. Obviously, we create our realities, and so if you just keep thinking it, it'll happen. But it's not like it's gonna magically appear. We live in a physical world. You have to do work. You have to think it. You have to believe it. And that belief will get you to act. That belief will get you to move. That belief will get you to change and shift and do and communicate and share and create. It's not just all woohoo magic, believe it and it gets done. No, you can't just make a wish upon a star. Probably helps because it activates that part of you in your brain that believes in it. Make a wish, it's a symbolic action. You're just meant for more. I'm meant for more. I'm not meant for being here. I'm not meant to live on unemployment for the rest of my life. You kidding? No. This is just a blessing time where I can take this time to progress, to be like, to share, to be like, hey, I'm doing this. This is me. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do. Like, so this time is just a blessing for everyone. It's just amazing. It's just incredible. But I put my crystals outside last night. Not outside, but like on my windowsill. Me and my friend Nagin did a whole like full moon ceremony, ritual, whatever you could call it. It was really nice. Released a lot of things. Shiz. It's not serving me anymore and it feels so fresh. Not quite sure what to talk about now, but I don't feel like turning it off, so I'm just going to keep going. I do get into this space where I feel like I don't, the stuff that I'm doing isn't having an impact, and that takes a toll on me. It does take a toll on me, because if I'm not having an impact, why am I doing it? But then I think back and I'm like, what do I define as impact? Impact is as simple as a shift in myself. And that's where it starts. If I'm not shifting myself, if I'm not learning for me, if I'm not diving into what I need, how in the world do I expect to share what other people need? Like, it's just not even in the cards, basically. That was funny. That was funny. But yeah, if I'm not making an impact on myself, I'm not making an impact on anyone else. 100%. If I'm not doing what serves me, I'm not doing what serves anybody else. So I make sure that I'm serving me. The channels that I do is information for my own understanding, and then I get to share it. And that's the beauty in it, is I get to share what I know, what I learned, what I wanted to learn, what I sought out to learn. The card readings that I do, the pick a card readings, I went back and watched the last one, and I was like, yeah, of course. They all resonate with me, the ones that I do, but when I go back and pick a specific pile, I'm just like, wow, yeah, I needed this video. And it's that impact that I'm impacting myself. And it's just so, it's on such a soul, subconscious, conscious, purposeful level. Of course I'm going to keep doing it. In the what's it called? The thing that I watched today, he talked about him putting out all of these videos and everything, and him, as he believed that as he would keep putting out videos, the people would come. And I'm like, I'm in that similar space that people would come, but then he started talking about how the financial income wasn't coming. So I'm in this space where I'm like, how do I monetize what I'm doing? Like, of course I'm going to keep doing free things, but then I can add on top of it little things. Like, I've been doing guided meditations for my Zoom explorations and for friends, and I'm like, I could record one and figure out how to monetize it. I could record my explorations and be like, here it is. So that's in the questions right now, is how to monetize your purpose, how to monetize my power, my purpose, my self. How do you monetize yourself? Like, this world is so weird, because we have to, we literally are forced to put a price on who we are. That's whack. It's crazy. And we have to do it to buy food. But then in order to buy food, you have to jump through all of these hoops. Especially now. But the fact that we have to put a price on ourselves? What? It just blows my mind. Not necessarily on ourselves, but on our services, on what we can offer. You have to figure out what you can offer. If you can't offer anything, you're told to be a failure. What? It's just not. This world is so weird, so interesting, so uncommon. And that's why everyone is so interested in us right now, because we're changing, we're shifting, but not everybody believes in that. Not everybody sees that. And so how are we going to shift if we're not shifting? Everyone's expecting this grandiose unveiling, but it feels so slow, doesn't it? Or is that just me? Everything happened so fast, and then time slowed down, and now it's just like going. And it's just not stopping. It's that cycle we talked about earlier. It's that day to night to day to night to day. It never stops, and so there's no separation. And so why is there a separation with us, our soul, our finances? Why is there a separation between what we are and what we need? Who we are and what we need should be the same thing. It is the same thing. We just choose to not see it. Sometimes I say something and I'm just like, wow, Landon, you need to do this more often. This is amazing. But yeah, I don't really... It's not that I don't know who I am. It's that I don't know who you know I am. Or who you think you know I am. Who you think you know who I am. And that's the process I'm going through right now. Is how do I show you? How do I show everyone? How do I express the differences within myself? I'm not a corporate person. I've known that since Starbucks. And then I went and worked at the Cheesecake Factory, and I'm like, I'm definitely not a corporate person. But then I take these like personality career quizzes, and they're like, you'd be really good in like corporate management. And I'm like, what? What are you saying to me right now? I can corporately manage my own business, and corporate as in me, myself, and I. Thank you very much. So it's just an interesting expression of how do you show people who you are if they don't necessarily understand your differences? Like, you're different. And you wouldn't be different if everybody understood you. If everybody understood everyone, there wouldn't be a different. There would only be a normal. And there's not a normal because everybody's different. Which means nobody understands anyone. Couples living together 50 years don't know everything about each other. Guaranteed. Your best friend, you don't know everything about them. Everybody has secrets. Or unknown discoveries, traumas. Lives you haven't uncovered. Reactions you don't know why they do. Nobody... I made a, let's see. My first color guard audition, scholarship audition for ASU, I made a dance piece. I choreographed a dance piece to, So You Think It's Magic, or by Aquilo? Aquilo? Something like that. And I basically, after watching it and everything, I put meaning to it after I create it. So I create from a channeled space, you could say. Looking back at it now, that's what I know it as. But when I looked back at it, I was like, this piece is about nobody understanding anyone. This piece is about the magic that's within everyone, but the only thing people see is the outside. And so if you're not living from the inside, nobody knows who you are. And even when you do that, people only know that part of you. They don't know your backstory. They don't know where you came from. They don't know how you made it to that space. Which is incredibly challenging and ignorant for anyone to believe they know anyone. So for anyone to judge anyone, it's like, how dare you? That goes for me too. Like, I can catch myself judging people. Like, no joke. And all of you judge people as well. Like, nobody is exempt from that. Is that a judgment in itself, that I'm judging you that you judge people? I'm not judging you. I'm just stating the experience. But it's just so interesting, isn't it? Like, have you thought about that? Like, nobody knows anyone. Even thinking back, like, I always think about how much I know my parents. Or even my brothers. Like, I grew up with them, but do I really know them? And that stems in and goes into even people don't even know themselves. I'm still uncovering who I am. I'm still coming to learn who I am. And that's going to be a lifelong, soul-long journey. So how could I ever believe that I know someone? It's an interesting philosophy, concept, whatever it is to call. Of course, we can experience things together, and obviously those shared experiences bring us closer. But everyone experiences those things differently. Like when you show up to the same, like, conference or the same talk, or you listen to the same video, and somebody sees a bunny rabbit in the background, and then the other person focuses more on the gentle smile of the cinematographer, whatever it is. Like, there's just different things people focus on depending on where they're coming from. And so literally nobody knows anyone. And so how do you expect to know someone if you don't know yourself? That's my question. And obviously people go through it and they're like, let's discover together. That's just not how I do it. I need to know myself a little bit more. And I need somebody who knows themselves as much as me. If not, it's just a hindrance. If people are in your life and they're not pushing themselves to grow, if they're not pushing themselves to understand, why are they in your life? A lot of times it's because they need a lesson to learn. And you need a lesson that you either give too much or you don't give enough. At the same time, there comes a point where it's not healthy. So, like, what is that point, and how do you know? It's intuition. It's those guides, those spirit guides, angels, yourself, your higher self, God, whatever it is you believe in, tells you, like, hey, this isn't good, you need to get out, you need to leave, this person needs space, and you're not that. You deserve more. Growth. It's an interesting idea because you can't, I don't want to say you can't because it's limiting belief, but there's a possibility that you choose to experience when people don't want to grow. And if people don't want to grow but you do, and this is where I'm at, but if people don't want to grow, then they're holding you back from growing because they resonated with you at a past frequency, at a level you were at. But as you continue to grow, as you continue to raise your vibration, you elevate yourself. You're not above and they're not below, but you are just different. You're just on a different place. You're in a different space, and so you're not going to be magnetic anymore. So where does that come from? And how do you know when you've come to that area? that space. It's when you feel like there's something's holding you back and something's, but you can't place it on yourself. There's an external factor that is reflecting. I listened to this video last week, 2 weeks ago, something like that, and it was basically like, when things feel reactive, when things feel dissonant, I've been using that word a lot, I feel, but when things feel not in place, when things feel wrong or weird or whatever, there's a few things you can go through. It's like a checklist. You can go through like, okay, what's making me feel weird in this space? Maybe it's a freaky person. Like their energy is just like whack, and you're just like, okay, that's that. And then you can dive into that, like, why is this person in my space? Because a lot of times, if somebody is in your space, like, this is very difficult to express, but no, limiting belief, okay, catching myself. When people are in your space, they're a reflection of you, okay? And so whether that's your best friend goofing off, whether that's your family members having a bit of a heated discussion, or a homeless person yelling, there are all aspects within you. And so if somebody is making you uncomfortable, what is it about that person that makes you uncomfortable? And maybe you don't know what that is because you don't know that person well enough, or you don't know yourself well enough. But that's why it's presenting itself. There's a need for you to go in and understand, like, there's something in me that is literally screaming at me in the external world that I need to pay attention to. What is it? Things to think about. I feel like that's the coming to the close of this live. So thanks for tuning in. Whenever you're tuning in, I'll post this for the next 24 hours. But yeah, thank you so much, and I love you all. And until next time.